Spencer, a 0-0 draw at home to Leatherhead this evening. What are your thoughts on the game?
Loads of trialists. Really difficult pre-season, as we've alluded to before. For both sides, lacked any real cutting edge. I think we've missed 2 open goals. Our best chance was given to us by the opposition rather than us creating it. They've had probably 10 shots not on target, one that's just clipped the top of the bar. Wasn't the greatest quality, but a step up in level and an opportunity to look at lots of players, which is the position we're in at the moment.
And you've had some trialists with us throughout pre-season. What can you tell us about them?
We have to look. We said early that it was a very fluid situation, and when I last spoke to you, I was hopeful of keeping a huge amount of last year's squad, but we've had a bad few weeks, to be fair. Sadly, I've got a report that we've lost a few players. Bernie's gone to Walton. He's been promised he's going to start every week, so we'll see what happens there, but we wish him the best. I'm delighted and gutted at John Anunga, who's got a place this week at university to do his masters up in East Anglia, so he's moving up this weekend to live up there. So sadly we've lost him, and I know everyone at the club will be gutted at that news, but delighted for him because that's what he wants to do, to get his masters. So we wish him all the best and hope to see him again one day. And we've got some other issues as well. Louis Dunn wasn't here today. He's got a knock, and we've got some availability problems coming up for key games. I don't want to say too much, but we have a big concern there. We had a loan that was 99% done, and sadly he's gone and got injured for his parent club. So we've got some issues. I'd say we're a couple of weeks behind at the moment in moving to where we want to be, but it's still pre-season. We'll get it right. We need to get it right urgently with what we've got coming up in the FA Cup. But it's frustrating. We're looking at lads, we're asking them to do things the right way. Some of them have come from higher pro clubs, and they're learning the level about when you can play and when you can't play. Some of them are coming from lower level non-league clubs, and they've also got to learn the difference in quality. We've stepped up now from playing the Step 5 sides to playing our sort of level, and it was a real wake-up call for a lot of them today. But it is what it is. We'll work hard. We're desperately trying to bring in another striker at the moment. I've done so many phone calls to bring in strikers with our striking situation. We haven't had Tony for a few weeks because the poor sod was in a car crash, so he's just come back from injury. And we've got a lot of niggles up there. CJ is injured at the moment. James has got a knock. Jordan's only just recovered. So we're picking up a lot of injuries, like I'm sure a lot of clubs have been in, sort of 5-6 months off playing football. It's biting a lot of clubs, and we're included. So we've just got to get on with it, try and be positive. Pre-season, you win some, you lose some. Today we've drawn some. We know we can be better. We're trying to pass it on the floor. We're trying to keep the same players, and we're also trying to look at a ton of trialists, a lot of which we see for the first time on match day. We can't afford not to look at them at the moment because we're very light in numbers.
And it was 175 days since we were last back here. Was it good to have supporters back in the stadium?
It's great to have supporters back. I think I've just been told it was 160 odd. They're now going to be more than ever the heartbeat of the club. The club is closed for functions, which brings in, I think, 80% of our income. The owner tells us. So we have to have supporters. They've got to come in their numbers. I appreciate, and absolutely the priority is everybody's safety, but we need the supporters to come back and fast, because otherwise we just can't operate. We set a budget literally last week. Very, very difficult because we don't have the income. We have a situation with the academy which has been talked about, but the main bulk of the club is not operating, and therefore more than ever we need the supporters to come back and support us if it's safe to do. And the volunteers have done another magnificent job to get this stadium ready, and it was great to see some familiar faces, and I'm sure that they've enjoyed it as much as we have, that we're actually playing football again. Safety's got to be the priority though, first and foremost, but we desperately need them to come back if they can.
We're starting the season a week earlier with Leamington at home in the FA Cup. You know how tough a game that's going to be. Yes, I mean when I first saw the draw, I sort of was relieved. I thought a Step 5 side at home, with all due respect to Step 5 levels, which are still a decent level of football. I've managed there for 4.5 years myself. So, and then I did some homework, and as usual, I expected Leamington to get through. I did the 3-hour round trip last night to see it, and I saw Leamington, the type of players they've got in there. They've got Craig McAllister, obviously
who was the player manager at Gosport. We played last year. An outstanding forward with pedigree. They've got the lad who scored a hat-trick against us at the start of last season for Paul, next to him Ollie Dennett. So we've just warned the players. They've got Craig Stanley, the Aldershot captain, who's just left there, playing at centre-half. They've drawn with Gosport pre-season 0-0 and only played with 45 minutes with 10 men away at Gosport. They beat Paul 3-2 and lost to Salisbury 5-2 in the first pre-season game. So we've already told the players, I was there last night, this is going to be one very, very difficult game. And we've got some issues to overcome with player unavailability, with injuries, and we've got to work really hard, and we're trying to focus their minds that 10 days is going to disappear really quickly. So I've got to do a lot of work away from the team at the moment, bringing in extra players that if these trialists can't step up to it. But we need to focus. It's going to be a very difficult game. We need the crowd to get here. Leamington have already played 3 clubs at our level this pre-season, and it's going to be a tough match. With the quality that they've brought in, they are really looking to have a fantastic good season this year. So not an easy tie at all. We're going to take it exceptionally seriously, and we need the supporters to get in and hopefully cheer us on to get through to the next round.
Brilliant. Thanks for your time, Spencer.
Thanks, Tom.